The three-point career record was just broken by Steph Curry, so what happens next? Here's a look at some other key records, where they stand right now, and whether or not any of them are in danger of being surpassed.
They've got a 3-on-2, Horton Tucker, the lob, oh, the hammer!
First up, Kareem Abdul leads all scorers with 38,387 points. LeBron James is the active leader with 35,811 points. It goes without saying that this is the holy grail of all-time records, given that the object of the game, after all, is to put the ball in the hoop. The odds are good that LeBron will catch Kareem in the second half of the season if he stays generally healthy, which means that he does not suffer an injury bad enough to keep him out for a prolonged length of time. It's possible that it will happen at the conclusion of next season at the earliest. That LeBron record will be challenged by the next player who wants to be considered the best of all time. That guy, much like LeBron, will need to be durable in addition to being gifted with natural skills.
Years in the league, and a lot of these opportunities, he still has the...
For starters, you're talking about a minimum of a dozen years, averaging between 25 and 30 points per game. Next up, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has 57,446 minutes. LeBron James is the next active leader with 50,686. This is a goal that LeBron can achieve given his current health status. He had more than 3,000 minutes of playing time the last time he played 82 games. However, the condensed NBA schedule of the past 2 seasons, which was caused by the coronavirus, hasn't helped, because medical improvements, improved fitness programs, and diets are allowing athletes to play for longer periods of time. If LeBron doesn't catch Kareem, someone will. Carmelo Anthony, who is ranked 24th on the list, is the only other active player among the top 25. Next up, Karl Malone had 9,787 free throws to his credit. LeBron James is the active leader with 7,640. Throughout his career, the mailman blazed a route to the foul line, and he gradually improved his percentage shooting as he entered his 30s. With over 13,000 attempts, he also holds the record for most attempts. The question now is whether or not LeBron's chances will be hampered by the new restrictions. Actually, the rule changes appear to have a greater impact on James Harden, who's ranked number 2 on the active list with 6,744 points and is the most affected.
LeBron drains another one! Yes, sir!
With a 73.4% field goal percentage, LeBron is an average shooter, and his trips to the free throw line have steadily decreased over the last 6+ seasons, primarily due to his increased use of three-pointers, which reduces his chances of drawing fouls. Next up, John Stockton has 15,806 assists. Chris Paul is next up, the active leader, with 10,558.
His thoughts on the defensive end, active hands reward the old man. 37 is still...
Even if Paul averaged 500 assists per season, which he has only done once in the last 4 seasons, he would need to play for another 10 years to catch Stockton in the all-time assist list. Stockton's milestone is one that will be remembered for a very long time. It is important to understand that the player who succeeds him will have to play a large number of minutes per game. He'd also need at least one Hall of Fame scorer on his squad, like Stockton did with Karl Malone, in order to be successful. If that wasn't demoralizing enough, the point guard position has evolved to the point where most of the point guards are scorers rather than distributors. As a result, best of luck. There are only 3 players, Kevin Porter and Isaiah Thomas, who've reached 1,000 assists in a single season, and those 2 have only done so once each. Stockton accomplished it 7 times in a row. Next up, Wilt Chamberlain has a total of 23,924 rebounds. Dwight Howard is next up with 14,405. It will take a special big man to break Wilt's record, as the majority of his scores are incomprehensible. He was able to achieve those results because he played in a completely different period, one that rewarded size, and one that was simple for him to dominate.
Right at Pau Gasol! Oh my.
Since missed shots are inevitable, there will be rebounds to be had as long as there are missed shots. Therefore, even if the style of play changes, rebounds will not become scarce overnight. In spite of this, Wilt's closest competitor is likely to be born in the next several years. DeAndre Jordan has a ranking of 10,000, while LeBron has a ranking of just under 10,000. Next up, Hakeem Olajuwon has 3,830 blocks. Dwight Howard is the active leader with 2,209. This demonstrates how outstanding Olajuwon was as a player who could play on both ends of the court. When people compile a top 10 list of the greatest players, it's easy to lose sight of this. Olajuwon was far from a one-dimensional player, much like Utah Jazz center Rudy Gobert is right now, for example. On the subject of Rudy Gobert, he's still in his prime, has 1,278 blocks, and is now the best shot blocker in the NBA. However, he's got a long way to go before he can catch the dream. Next up, John Stockton has 3,265 steals. Chris Paul is the active leader with 2,389. In pursuit of his ghost of Stockton, Paul is once again making headlines. If Paul manages to obtain the record, it will be a true bargain. In other words, it's implausible. For Paul to reach his career high of 105 steals in a season during the last 4 years, he'd have to play roughly 8 more seasons based on his current pace. In his 19-year career, Stockton has only finished first or second in the NBA in steals twice. In addition to being extremely consistent, Stockton remained a full-time starter for the Utah Jazz until his 4th season with the team, which was a remarkable achievement. LeBron James leads the NBA with 2,093 steals, followed by Andre Iguodala with 1,743 and Russell Westbrook with 1,658. Well, guys,
The lob.
thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to Top NBA, and hit that notification bell so that you never miss a video. See you all next time.